transition their old methods of Vertigo with Walco now being added into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions for me heading into this one, but we are going to go straight into the action, ladies and gentlemen. My biggest question is, how are NRG going to adapt? How are they going to change things up? It feels like they fall flat. It feels like they don't have the adaptation necessary beyond the first couple rounds. So we'll have to see if they have a deep enough strat book. The last time they played this map was in February. It was versus the Timbermen, now known as Elevate, and it was a loss 6-13. Party Astronauts last playing it all the way back in December, early to mid-December versus Boss, and they lost in an even worse fashion, 2-13. So both teams don't have the highest expectations when it comes to stats. We'll have to see if they've done their homework. Sixy starting things off right, too. A third, not quite, but he almost finds it. Wolfie trades. Ben Leet coming in with a duel. He finds one, not the second. Is Hexed in a corner, back against the wall. He's found two, and he somehow might just have a victory here. A 1 versus 1. He drops down with the bomb. Walco has full HP, not a kit. This is very doable for the last remaining NRG player.
I can't believe that Hex is in this kind of a position. I mean, he was just tucked away in the corner like that. His position was given up, and he's still alive in this. And Walco does not have a kit either. So he's got the full armor. And looking at Hex right now, he is going to get that bomb down. So the money's going to be gained here, minimum for NRG. So this is big. And Walco now waiting for his teammate. I think he's got the kit and some utils, so this is perfect. But now he's got to get going here. He's got to get the sneakers on. And time is the essence. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Hex is just playing on sandbags, so that's probably actually a pretty strong position, just given the pistol's not going to be able to pierce that the bags.
This is a big spot, the power position. Hex is very worried. He doesn't want to get snuck up upon, given his low HP. Trying to take the duel at range. He gets the spot. He gets the info. And goes going to go for the stick. I love this. It's an off angle. It's an off angle. It works out. It works out. No. Hex doesn't have the bullets. Doesn't have the information. I love the way Walco just sticks his back behind the cement walls, the cement walling on the crane base. It's exactly the play that you should go for. Again, not a single stray bullet connected with him. He survives. He clutches up. Party Astronauts steal away another round. Seen quite a few ninjas today, Laz.
Yeah, we really have. I mean, this is the thing. Like, that was such a good play from Walco. Again, he knew he had time, so he went all the way back, picked up the kit, picked up the smoke, and I was talking about Hex playing a good position, but that smoke was problematic, man. That's the thing that was just kind of the dagger right into the heart. So, not a good situation for Hex, and unfortunately, they ran into each other, too, and that's the worst thing. He couldn't even see him through it. So now, NRG, I mean, despite having the money down, they are going to force up, though. They got the Glios with the Mac 10s. Decent molly does push these players back. Looks like they're going to try to go for the double boost here. But this is an important round, because if NRG can find this, Nate, I mean, this is where they're going to squash the money system right now for Party Astronauts, because they've put every single dollar into this one, too.
So they have a 4-spot vested.
Oh, it's so tense, too, hey? Like, it's just, there's so much patience on this.
Yeah, neither team knows, or neither team wants to give it up. Both teams know what rides on this. Again, HUD is broken. Deal with it. Fortunate. Chop. Takes point. Sixy was there to find them once they swung. He'll only be good for one, however. Chop. Up close and personal with the MP9. Does behead another. Doubling down, in fact, as the utility is thrown in from both parties. Ben Leet now in the backline to support. He does some good damage through the smoke. Them all does chop in. It's a bit of chaos on the B site, but the bomb is yet to cross. In fact, control is yet to be seated. Hex is trying to back away, but Wolfie finds one. Second up close, does a lot of damage, but can't get the kill across the line. 2-0. Good start for Party Astronauts. Their first real test, but they pass it with flying colors. NRG now, no money to invest, forced to save. One Deagle for OC. Shouldn't have much of a chance in this round.
No, not really. I mean, they weren't even able to get the bomb down, too. And that was a really good play coming in, even like Chop. I mean, the fact that he got, roasted alive in the corner. But, I mean, him just staying alive, making NRG kind of, still waiting for that fight. That was a really good position from him, despite not getting an extra duel. But good nades coming in. OC already down to 6 HP. Oh, man, that is just going to leave a mark a little bit here for NRG. And now they're just kind of posted up. Very light purchase with a P250 Deagle and a nade smoke to get them somewhere maybe. And right now for Party Astronauts, I mean, they just obviously want to make sure they can keep all 5 alive. They're just playing very passive, just standard setups. Nothing too fancy. Nothing out of the ordinary. Still trying to contest with Wolfie, and he actually gets a little bit overwhelmed, and he does get the 1 kill. Walco does help him out, so a trade's there. I don't think they're going to be able to pick up this gun either.
Nope, that's a big item that could help them find some inroads here, but as you mentioned, a little bit too far gone. The Molotov, fine with the fire from the MP9, does in Dax. Walco through the tarp, finds the final. Ekalil, not recovered at the dying moments of the round, but it's fine. 3-0 start, rifles again coming through for NRG. It's going to be AKs across the board as far as I can tell. Wolfie has his op in hand as well, and we saw what he can do in that second map. He was okay on Inferno, but he was really solid on Anubis, and if he can bring that same sort of flair to Vertigo, it'll give us a major advantage on this decider.
Lots of TOD already being burned here from the CTs just on this ramp, and a nice flash comes in that might open up things for Fang, and it does. That's nicely placed here from Daps, but it's not going to matter. Wolfie repositions himself here from the sandbag, putting that all back to work like we talked a lot about in map number 2, which was Anubis. Still doing some big damage, sitting at 189 ADR so far with these 4 rounds in. And now for NRG, I mean, they're getting down in the numbers, grouping back up on the ramp. They still have the utility, like you said, it was AKs across the board, so now they're going to be able to get the smoke wall in. It's a question if they can get themselves in this site with the bomb, because even this, I believe that's going to be a smoke coming in from Wolfie. Going to make it even worse for these guys to get into this site. Wolfie's still trying to get aggressive, but oh man, it's costing him a lot of life here. And Ben is getting his feet in the flame for some reason.
Warming up. Let him cook, but literally. 4 versus 4. Bentley just spamming. So many smokes. Time is beginning to become a factor at this stage. Wolfie with a Molotov or sandbags. Hext was there lurking. Which I'm hoping to find something on the opposite range. 60 clearing outside. All good start. Tap on the bomb to compel them forward. Chaos on the site. Oh, Chop was sticking it. Doesn't get the defuse this time around, however. Brehze drops Chop. The final 2 don't have a horse in this race. They'll fall away. Brehze and Daps. 60, Wolfie, and a third Hext. All trying to save. NRG on the board. A first. Hopefully many for them. Party Astronauts, though. Saving those weapons, should be able to reinvest comfortably going into round number 5.
Yeah, it was a good attempt, though. I mean, I know that was a bit of a chaotic situation and just bullets are flying everywhere, but I actually didn't mind the attempt for the Ninja. I mean, there was so much distraction that maybe, you know, we were able to find it. He was just on the corner of the box, too, but it was a good lineup that NRG were able to react back with. And not a Ninja coming through here so far, Nate.
Uh-oh. Coming back to into the caster's cams. Don't worry, everything goes wrong on a Monday night broadcast. That's always how it is. I do have an update for you, Laz, on the other game. Mythic did pull it back in the reverse sweep. 13-5 was the score on that third map. So, unfortunately, that means we're saying goodbye to G3. They're not going to be in for day 2 of the ESL Challenger Melbourne 2024 North American Close Qualifier. That's unfortunate. They actually did surprise me a little bit. Didn't get to watch them firsthand, but from the stats, it looked like they did put up a good fight in both series. Mythic will move on tomorrow to face off against the loser of this game. But touching back onto this Vertigo game thus far, Party Astronauts have done well. NRG doing some damage here and there, but again, the individuals from Party Astronauts are really coming in fiery hot in this series.
Yeah, they're definitely looking really good. I mean, that was my biggest, comment I had here going into this one was like, look, like how good are we going to see Party Astronauts with their new addition? And I know some people might think I'm being, a bit dramatic about it, but honestly, one player, it can make a world of a difference on your team, good and bad, obviously, right? So that's the thing, like you're changing foundation, you're changing the structure and the protocols. So it's not an easy thing just to add someone as skillful as Walco, right? And you lose, Viz and, things like that in replacement too. So, but Party Astronauts are doing a great job right now. They're looking like they're feeling a lot better. I think that Anubis win really boosted up the confidence for them to actually start, playing their normal style, and they're just kind of getting a good feeling of what they're doing. So this has been a very interesting game. I didn't go the way I thought it was going to, but going back to your one original point as well, is, I mean, this is still the upper bracket. So whoever loses this game is now going to be playing Mythic, as you mentioned, is because Mythic beat G3. So this is still a second leg for these teams, but obviously they both want to keep fighting here for the upper.
Both want to keep fighting. Looking at the stats for the first two maps thus far, Wolfie's been the shining star for his team. The only one who's positive, in fact, a plus 15 at 1.44 rating. Very solid performance on the op. Walco, second at 29 and 29. And overall across the board for KD, a solid 1.07 rating. NRG is where things get interesting for me because NRG, far less top heavy and far more spread out with 4 players in the positive. 1.36 rating for Hex, 1.27 for Fang, 1.19 for OC, and 1.13 for Daps. That's what really sticks out to me, is the fact that those 4 are all positive, all pretty solid in the overall ratings, and yet it's still a 1 versus 1. It's still this tight knit. I feel like spreading out the kills across the board like that really does speak to a better overall team environment. But I think the issue, again, is the fact that NRGs don't have the strats behind them. They don't have the adaptability. We are getting back into the action, ladies and gentlemen. It is 4-1. Already the astronauts find themselves ahead. NRG. What is the investment? It's less than ideal. They have 2 AKs. It's like 2 AKs that were saved. I think we missed a round, of course. And some pistols surrounding.
Yeah, not the greatest investment coming in from NRG, but now things are starting to get a little bit more of that desperation, right? I mean, they need to be able to find something. Molly coming in deep. Wolfie gonna pull back here onto sidewalk, just waiting things out. And a good starter coming in from Fang. Actually, he's able to find that opening duel, takes down Walco, and now OC able to find that one there too. So now they've been able, like, out of the hat, finding themselves these doubles. And I was talking about the investment sucked. Yeah, apparently it's the best investment of the world, because right now they might have a round in their hands.
They do have a round in their hands. 60's not going to attempt it. This is my biggest worry. My biggest gripe in this series has been the fact that 60 has been effectively mitigated. He was second from the bottom in terms of total impact for his team, really struggling individually. He's having a solid start to this final map. But can that continue, or will NRG limit his impact? Because if they can do that, that might be their winning ticket. OC finally picking up an op as well off of Wolfie's corpse. The half buy, or I guess it's not really half buy. It's a force buy, but it looks like a half buy. It does pan out for NRG. They get a second on the board. 60, though, will at least be allowed to save his AK for the follow-up.
Yeah, it's a big save, though. Yeah, because look at the money. It's not even great at all. I mean, yeah, Wolf, he can purchase up, so can Shop. But, I mean, you know, it's going to be a bit more scrappy in terms of, like, lacked in the utility in some degree. Not terribly, but it would be nice if Wolfie could have a little bit more. So we'll see what kind of position he's going to play with the only the 2 pieces left here. But OC with that big frag, secondary frag, he was able to get that op picked up here. So he was somebody that was lights out, just missing this shot. And now some good counter. Molly's going to be placed here. Ben does get caught just a little bit. A little bit of a tickle. Not too much here to worry about. 2-round differential right now. NRG looking to see what they can bring things back. If they win this round, I mean, this could be a potential double save. Walco goes for a massive swing and somehow wins that fight against OC.
Massive duel to win. I think the shot might have either A, tagged the leg, or B, gone through one of the supporting struts. Either way, he didn't miss. He just didn't get the kill. A massive one to find. 5 versus 4 for the CT side. Just had a slow start to this final map. 60. Next at bat here, playing the smoke over towards B stairs. And he walks into Brehze, finds that kill. Furthering the advantage. Slow
They
now.
still have the bomb. Maybe look at what they have. 1 PC utility each. Oh, and they're just going to sneak up on this, Nate. Now they finally make the noise. Now this is the gimme. With 20 seconds remaining. Oh, I thought that smoke missed the molly. I was thinking, Ben, you got to be kidding me.
Up the creek without a paddle. Bomb down. Never mind. The nades do it in. 5 seconds left. You're right. That's it. Scrupulous utility management yields a round for Party Astronauts. Again, 2 rifles being saved. One of them an op, one of them an AK. Money all over the place, but they can probably finagle together a decent enough buy on the T side. Party Astronauts, though, continually building forward. Decent enough money. 5-2. One away from at least a tied scoreline going into the second half, and potentially even a lot more.
And that's the thing about preserving that utility as long as you can, you know, on the CT side too, right? I mean, you can just have so much room for retakes, and that was nicely done. Just such a simple thing to do. Double HE. Got them around. One more needed here to solidify a bare minimum 6. And the op is going to be back out here for NRG. OC's got it. No op, it looks like, here for the CT side. So they are going to be a little bit less powered up here without Wolfie's op. And now NRG, look at how slow they are taking this. They're really hesitating on what they want to do.
Yeah. Waffling about all towards the ramp. Wolfie is here. Has that A1S, not the op, as you mentioned. NRG are slowly setting up the utility now. Bringing out Walco towards side hall, or at least forcing him forward. He's going to re-smoke it. Wolfie, in the meanwhile, will fall towards the site proper. Walco now stuck up the creek without a paddle, alone. Off the Alamo out towards the side hall. Tries to nade open the smoke, but Daps is already on the fast flank. Hex finds another on the Ben Leet. Chop and 6, they separate themselves from the situation. They want nothing to do with this round. They'd rather forget it existed at all. Save these weapons for the following. Go forward, give NRG the third. Look to build back and strike in round number 9.
Yeah, despite, you know, we talking about NRG taking that really slow, like you said, I think Party Astronauts are just going to let this round go and try to forget about it. But this is the perseverance that we talked about from both these teams, bringing things back and climbing themselves back into games when things are looking pretty grim. But now going to be a 5-3 scoreline gained for NRG, but still down in the deficit. And the money should be good enough here that there should be enough funds. Oh, that is just going to add way worse there. 60 does get that trade back, but either way, that might change things a little bit more now, actually.
Yeah. Economy's rather bad for this CT side. 60 can drop the 1, but what will 1 really do? That's the question. It might just save. Let the hero rifle try to find something.
Timeout coming through too. So this is going to be the first for this map. Party Astronauts have definitely taken quite a few in the series, which is great to see, though. It always kind of makes me wonder when teams don't utilize this. There's so many questions, but yeah, Party Astronauts are definitely making sure things are a little bit more clear. And yeah, they got to figure out what they want to do with this situation. The money is just, it's not the best. I mean, you can half buy. You could, you know, like just put like pistols only. You could force. I just don't know if it's worth the force in this kind of a state. But they gotta activate 60 right now with that AK. He needs to be put in a position where he can find multi-kills if possible.
Yes, he does. Back into it. Half buys is the call. 5-7s, though, make this rather potent. 60 might be able to drop an op in the following for as well. OC posted on this angle. Wins the duel. That's the rifle drop. Chop needs to get up there. Pick up that weapon. It will give him a fighting chance in some of these duels. We'll snag it. It's pretty important. Execute utility thrown in towards B. Walco trying to pressure towards A. Caught by Fang. Ben Leet, probably not long for this world either. OC's migrated around. Fights are still looking okay. Wolfie does get 1 with the assist from Ben Leet. Fang and OC, though, put them both to bed, leaving just Chop on this AK. It would behoove him to save it. But I feel like NRG might not let him, given that they know the economic situation.
Yeah, they should go for the hunt here. I mean, I think, but obviously besides OC. But I think this would be good for them. Again, they're just kind of kibosh the money system here a little bit here. You know, try to squash this as much as possible within reason, but the HP from OC is non-negotiable. He's not going to go for it, but if I'm not mistaken, we already have one player on the hunt. I think that's Daps actually on the other side of the map. He's already looking around to see where Chop is. I think Chop's just in T-spawn. There we go. Yeah, we can see on the X-ray. And he might be okay.
Top donut.
Is that what the kids call it?
Donut. I think I've heard it called something else. I can't remember what. It is a big donut when you think about it.
That's true.
Does survive though. There is an op drop to Wolfie. That was dropped by Sixy. Match pause called. This is not a technical or tactical one. It is a technical one. So we'll have to see exactly how long this one takes. It has been a long stream day, ladies and gentlemen. To say it once again, for all of you wondering, the HUD is broken. I had the time to say it, so I'm going to say it yet again. Everyone's blue. Coaches count as players. Therefore, the coaches will show up from time to time as a player. In this case, Leviathan is showing up. He is the coach for Party Astronauts. Not to be confused with Mix, who's the coach for NRG. Sometimes he'll show up. Go into another server. Maybe they'll show up. But, you know, maybe there'll be two coaches instead of one. We'll be missing two players from the HUD instead of one. Rest assured, the full 5 players for each team are present in the server. Sixy, Walco, Bentley, Chop, Wolfie, Brehze, OC, Fang, Daps, and Hexed. All 5 for both teams are on the server. All 5 are playing. Their stats will not show up. I know, very unfortunate. We're rolling with the punches. It's the way that the coaching slots were added. There's nothing that we can do. Action is back. I bought enough time with that explanation. And NRG, they're not waiting for any time. They're going for a straight play towards B. Daps starts things off right. Chop answers back, a good rebuttal, but a brief one at that because Brehze is by, finding the trade. 4 versus 3 secured, site secured, and bomb plant forthcoming. Fang furthering it. Walco dispatched. Ben, Leet, and Wolfie, the final pair to pick up the pieces. They might even try to save their weapons at this stage, given how far time has gone. Hex drops the up. And in fact, Ben Leet might not even be allowed to save. He's fighting for his life at this stage. Hex pressuring forward, has him dead to rights. A very succinct 5th on the board for NRG as they tie things right back up.
Yeah, what a great comeback coming in from NRG. I mean, the fact that we were talking, I think, a 5-2 scoreline at one point, and now it's back to a tie game with a 5-5. They're just going for some basic executes, but doing a great job of just getting the timing here. And now for Party Astronauts, I don't think, yeah, surprisingly, Chop is going to be the one player that puts the only rifle on the board to keep his money kind of afloat. It's less than everybody else's, but he is going to have that A4 in his hands. NRG now been successful hitting this B site. And a good nade lands onto 60, already doing some pretty good damage thus far, but I think the slow play, I was kind of questioning it a little bit from NRG, but I do like it. I think they are just, again, making Party Astronauts really overthinking a little bit, I think, too. No utility at all. This is going to be just a firefight and a weak one here from Party Astronauts.
Should be. Just the one hero M4 for Chop. Again, another slow roll for NRG, changing up the pace, controlling the pace on this T side. Walk up to some antics, just head down on the site, looking to surprise him. Patients have come through. 3 here. Bang.
Oh.
Drops Walco. Good tap. Start things off. This rifle is still towards side hall, though. Oh, never mind. Daps dispatches it. Wolfie, not long thereafter. Ben Leet racing in. No reason to try and delay. USP can't do much. The last alive has a P250. It's 60. He had a good start. He slowed down a bit once the going got tough. The question is, can he find an exit or two before the round concludes? The answer, a no. 6-5, NRG steal away the lead in the dying embers of this first half. 1 round left. Can they cement an advantage going into their CT side? Or will it be a tied ball game going into the second? We'll have to wait and see. Party Astronauts, they saved for this final round. They need to put their foot down here and now.
Well, again, you know, I think for Party Astronauts, I mean, this is a side where they typically, with their old roster, was not their strongest being on the CT side. So I think for them, like, if they can find this 6-6, this could be a decent showing, all things considered. But NRG, like you said, they've been just climbing the mountain at a great pace right now, putting up consecutive rounds in a row, potentially looking at a 7-5 to finish off this first half. And Party Astronauts look like they've run out of ideas. The firepower has just been lackluster. And just so many bullets to the cranium, it's been difficult for them to get any sort of momentum built on their side. No op. Very limited utility with only 2 kits, or sorry, 3 now making it here for Party Astronauts. What do they find themselves in? And NRG are just waiting things out. They're still wanting Party Astronauts to make the play. They know they like to get, you know, a little antsy for that info.
Yes, they do. They're hoping Party Astronauts get desperate.
Oh, double player stack too. We haven't seen this yet from them. I don't think they've had time to go for this. It's a nice little mix up. A small detail, but could pay off dividends right here. Oh, but it looks like they're checking this Fang. Oh, you can see him on the x-ray. It looked like he was actually going to clear it, but they haven't checked this yet. Gets Daps. That's a free kill, but now that position's going to be done and removed. Now they're just going to fly in with these flashes. That was beautiful coming in from OC. A singular flash has just opened up for Brehze to open up this site. He's on the tip of the spear now. He's just taking down so many players, and it's all down to this. There is no more saving, Nate. This is the moment where Party Astronauts, they have to commit to this. No more kits available on these players. They have to win these duels. OC puts the scope in there. Spamming away, and there we go. OC gets the job done and nailed to the coffin. A 7-5 as we're going to take that break as we get ready for the second half.
With somebody new every night, and I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? yours and you were mine. 'Cause when I'm alone, I get lost in my head, and I try to think back to the things that you said. But living without you is taking the toll. Feel like I'm right.
NRG come back in a major way and find themselves with a slim advantage heading into their CT side of the decider. It's Pineapple Phillips and Laz to bring you the action, and Chop to start things off with a very quick run by alongside Wolfie. Fang, a good trade, but still advantage secured for the Party Astronauts as they shift gears and look to go back towards A. Brehze reading it right, rotating back around. Question is, can he and Hext hold off this take? Can they find the kills necessary to come back into this one?
Yeah, and Hex is just going to play on the boost a lot here. So, I mean, waiting things out. Now he's going to reposition himself. Nade's going to fly in, so the double smokes should come in. And now there we are. It's going to be blocked. Pistols aren't going to be able to find it. Oh, Hex actually does get the corner of the smoke. That Nade just opened it up just a little bit, and Hixie, or 60, sorry, he's going to lose his head for it. And now making it a very interesting scenario right now. Party Astronauts keeping Walco right on top of the bomb. He's just going to post onto this. His teammates are going to buy it on him to be kind of the bait. Walco waiting things out with a Glock. He's going to swing. He gets the one up the head. There we go. Starting looking a little bit more and trying to maneuver around the smoke and leaving it just down to Brehze. Now he's got a big, tall task ahead of him. A 1-on-2. Kid in hand. He's dancing around looking for these players. Finds the head of this one. But now it's about Ben. Can he be big brain? Can he hold this off long enough? And yes, he will.
6 to 7 secured. Good way to get back into it. It's a very close round for Brehze. Round he comes up short in. 7 to 6. NRG, do they go for it? The answer is probably no, but I still have to ask the question. And they do. Okay, never mind. Deps pulls the trigger. Gonna be a scout. A 5-7 for him. Fang on a deagle. Okay, the scout is dropped. It should be on OC. There we go. OC has the scout, some deagles, a 5-7. Probably a deagle or a 5-7 for the final player as well. So deadly weapons, especially up close and personal. Vertigo. Typically a pretty close range map as well. Walco, though. Niche angle drops Hex to start things off. Party Astronauts not looking to let this possible comeback slip by the wayside.
A good pickup, and now Daps is even going to reposition himself here just on the corner to the wood pallet. Does have the MP9, which is good position, but it's not going to matter at all. Party Astronauts are going to change up their game plan. A good distraction coming in from Walco. And if I'm not mistaken, it does look like we are going to have Fang just here on the sidewalk. Sitting close with his teammate in the site. So he's just got that smoke ready to go in case somebody does expose himself. So there it is. Oh, he actually re-aggresses and he actually does win that fight somehow? Oh, this is making it interesting now, Nate.
Yes, it is. Things get interesting. Chop. Unseats Fang. Bomb plant. Goes down. Scotavosis looking for that player's sandbags. He knows he's there. I just spotted it. Fortunately, no kills. And 4 spy means they're going to try and save these weapons for the following. Give them an opportunity to find some damage in round number 15. That means that Party Astronauts have tied us up yet again at 7-7.
Yeah, and I was thinking this could have changed a lot here with Fang, you know, finding that one duel. I was thinking maybe if he was able to stay alive a little bit longer, he could have switched things around. But yeah, it's a good call coming in from NRG. Again, a lot of investment we talked about in this round. But Party Astronauts did a great job of just changing up their game plan, making a bit of noise in the beginning, switching things up, not being overzealous, cool, calm, and collected. And like you said, we're back to a tie game. The money now, Fang, he's sitting at 27.50, so it's about what does he want to spend? It's probably just going to be a pistol, and there it is, some deagles and a 5.7. Going to be just working around this, so NRG still on a bit of a value buy right now. But I think we're going to have to see something from OC or Daps. I mean, again, these two guys do have kind of the bigger, strong weapons, and I'd like to see OC getting a little bit more aggro with this.
Yep, there we go. Aggro's what you asked for. Aggro's what you'll receive. Peeking for the scout. Hope to find some chip damage. Fang's also present. There's the spot. There's the tag. The early damage we'd hope to see. The second one walking up is outright taken down. Daps also with the flash from Hex finds one. Fang finishes off that player tagged by the scout. In a 4 versus 2. Off the back of those saved weapons. Chop trying to be the hero in the middle. Gets the spot onto one. Daps down. A second secured from Chop. He's trying to be the hero. His team needs to come back into this. Just work out this flank. Playing a mind game with each other. He knows Hext was up there. Ben Leet. Round towards the B. Chop will figure this out. Hold it for his teammate. They might have found a way to navigate this Tempest, to right the wrong. Looked like NRG might just snowball their way to victory here, but Chop holds the line.
Yeah, who better than Chop too, right? I mean, he's been somebody that's just been individual prowess, and he's been able to do so well with it too. Now NRG coming in from main. They're going to be coming up the stairs. Ben Lee's going to be the first point of contact. He's going to have this spot. He needs to stay alive, but he actually gets, again, overexposed here. So now Chop requiring to get a quad kill in this round to save them. One player that needs to put up a big amount of work. He's got the molly placed. They're now just going to double swing this. They get it, but do they have enough time?
Oh.
And they do not. There's not a kit in sight. And they have to run away.
Absolute shambles. They both survive, but they don't win the round. Chop, the hero. Molotov thrown, the double to get back into it. He is the one that got the team back in the advantage seat. Up by 1, 8-7. 5 rounds separating them from victory in this series. The rifles will come out for both teams now. It's time for the action to kick in. AKs and an op for Party Astronauts. Rifles for NRG, excuse me. NRG, no op present, but again, OC's been very fluent with the rifles. Could have afforded an op if he really wanted one. Aggression is the call. 3 towards B. Ben Leet, though, is the one to find the first. He fells Hexed. Brehze's advanced position, though, might just go unchecked.
Oh, and Brehze, I was thinking if he was going to keep that trigger discipline a little bit longer, he might have been able to find that double, but nonetheless, he's able to get out of this. Reposition himself, but Party Astronauts now, they losing, a player that doesn't even matter at all. They're going to be able to get the double kill back here, making it for the 4-on-2. And the op is still available here for Wolfie. 6E just waiting on the bottom of ramp. Might time and go see. Oh yeah, they definitely spotted each other. And the bomb's actually making its way towards us too, Nate. So there's a lot here for OC, and he swings wide, and he gets just eradicated. And Party Astronauts, they have to deal with Brehze, and he's coming in, spraying away. And we need Wolfie to find that connection, but he's whipping these shots. I don't know what's going on. Not like this.
Fortunate. It's not pretty. Fatigue likely setting at this stage. Brehze on the ramp, caught by Chop. Party Astronauts. Despite those missed opportunities from Wolfie, they are finding rounds. 9-7. The economy of NRG is on the cusp of a bye. Are they going to go for it? It looks like they will. OC? Nope. Second guess is it. They're going to go for a tactical pause. Smart. OC can drop a rifle. I'm not sure where the 5th player is at in terms of economy. There we go. They are going to go for it. Opt for OC. You can drop an M4 if they want one. No, they don't. Brehze has an M4. So does Fang. Daps on an MP9.
Big call. And again, like I know, it is the first time of being used from NRG in this game, but in the series now, this is their second time they've done this. So they know that things are starting to get nitty gritty. They know that the pressure's starting to build up. And Party Astronauts, we talked about this on Anubis. They were doing such a great job, and they just kind of kept that momentum going, and the wind was in the sails, and those guys were gone. It was smooth sailing, not a ripple in the water. And we could be seeing that potentially even here right now in Vertigo.
Indeed. A lot of implications from this round. It could be the one that makes or breaks the series for both teams. OC, aggression, middle, pressing fourth. Trying to stem the bleeding, trying to be the hero his team needs. He's at a rather quiet decider. He's Hexed in tow. Be a tool with Chop if he goes for the pick all the way in. Good flash. I just compel the CTs away. No, they're gonna stick around. Chop needs to be very weary of this aggressive angle.
Yeah, this is a good switch up though from NRG. Much needed too. Again, look at OC. He's already pushed all the way in mid like this with his teammate. So this is a ton of real estate and information that now they can relay back to their teammates. That party astronauts are nowhere near this. So now they can reposition themselves properly on this. 60 now close onto this. The smoke just blocking his vision. Just about to run into this. OC just changes position. Oh, he misses the shot? No way. And 60 somehow, some way wins that fight. A very uncharacteristic shot from OC and missing it. And now Hex is able to find two to redeem his teammate. And Fang coming in from the sideline. NRG. Like I said, a little bit of assassination coming in.
Changing things up. Walco now has to do a lot, and he's caught by timing. Brehze, good one to find. Ben lead the last. 1v3. Aids down on one. There's two. Daps got the spot. Daps speaks in. Double dink from the MP9 to do him in. Timeout for NRG already beginning to pay off as they're looking to start their second win, start their tear. Party Astronauts, their economy's in a bad way. But NRG, do they have enough gas in the tank? Do they have enough strats and enough adaptability to get it across the line, to bring it back and to get it across the line, I should say?
Yeah, no bomb plant. They're actually just going to keep the pistols out. They're going to force everything up. They're going to keep the AK here. Where for Wolfie, he had plenty of cash. And that's a good position to be in because they're going to have armor. So even if he gets down, like there's not going to be the aim punch, you know, worrying. Or if they're able to pick up some kills, they're going to be able to pick up those rifles and not have any problems. And now we can see that Party Astronauts grouped up towards B stairs. Once again, they're just waiting things out. Brehze just sitting on the back of White Box here, waiting things out. The nades are flying in. It's just raining from the sky, and he's only able to find that one. That's where Tech 9s can be a little bit scary, and getting themselves that one in there. Bomb not going to get planted yet. Waiting things out. And now 60. Look at where he is. He's looking for a massive backstab.
Massive backstab, or looking to rotate the bomb back around. Emily's kind of stuck on an island here. Stick around. He has rotated the bomb up and around. NRG are beginning to realize what's going on. When does Ben Lee activate? When does he actually go for a peek? When does he betray his position? That's the question.
Oh, I was hoping that 60 would be in a better spot. Then now he peeks at the wrong time and he gets taken out right away. Now 60's just trying to get a drive-by here in the smoke. His position's not the greatest. Wolfie putting that AK to work, but it's going to be Fang. There we go. Finds himself a double. And again, I feel like if 60 would have went with his gut and pushed in a little bit more, he could have maybe caught these players off guard. But I think he thought somebody was going to be on the left-hand side, just waiting for him. There's so much hesitation. Like you said, they were talking about maybe like pulling things back, bring the bomb there, which they did. But yeah, the timing just seemed to be not on the side here for Party Astronauts. Even Ben was in a great position to go for the big flank, but it just came down to that millisecond.
It did. 9-9. Party Astronauts now on a save. Momentum firmly with NRG at this stage. Party Astronauts, their IGLs, plural, need to put their brains together. Think of a change, something different. Perhaps a gimmick to get them back into the winning column.
Yeah, minimal investment for this one too, though. Well, minimal in the sense of, not a lot in terms of the pistols and some utility. Oh, wow. OC somehow, some way he's going to get a nice little bit of a quick running shot. And now the stats are just getting padded here, and there we go. The rifles making all the right connections, just leaving a chop, a Glock in hand. Finally picks up a hot deagle, maybe. Not looking like so. And now NRG have put themselves in a lead after Party Astronauts have put consecutive rounds on the board. NRG have shifted that momentum.
They've shifted it perfectly. You mentioned tactical pauses being seldom used. We're seeing why. They have a tremendous impact on the game of NRG. The flick of a switch, 10-9. Rifles out yet again. We have to feel at this point NRG win this, prevent a bomb plant. Won't be a good buy into the next. More than likely at that point, Party Astronauts is playing for overtime. They can't really attempt to go for an investment in round number 21.
And the other thing we talked a lot about too is Wolfie. I mean, the fact that he's been able to isolate players with the op, he was just being such a playmaker, and now we're going to need to see it here too. Everybody's going to be kind of like the KD ratio is really spread out here. Walco kind of sitting more on the back end here, but again, it's been a lot of players that have been able to do some pretty big things, giving some good impact for this game, and now Brehze going to push himself into the open. Very exposed. One flash can ruin him. And there's Wolfie. There's that activation I was looking for. The op is finally making something connect. Hex now going to go on top. Now they're going to push through this. Wolfie able to find another trade, but it's the cost of 2 more teammates dropping. And that bomb is right in the open. Wolfie's just trying to swing. He's trying to do everything he can. Dap's just on the edge of the smoke. Both these players. And Dap's finally able to peek himself out of this, but it's only a one and done.
Only one and done. Not enough. Walco drops Fang. OC. Do a lot. First secured, low on HP though. Finds a second. Does them in. What a clutch from OC. NRG continue their tear, prevent a bomb plant, and secure an 11th. A 12th seems like a distinct possibility. I dare say an assumption at this stage. Money from Party Astronauts so dang low. NRG. Players beginning to awaken individually. They found the winning recipe. They feel unstoppable.
Yeah, they definitely do. They look way better ever since that timeout. They've really just shifted this game around and put it back in their favor. And now a tough situation here with the money the way it is. Again, Party Astronauts are just going to have to bite their pride a little bit here and just put some Tech 9s, a couple pistols on here, keep that money over the 1,500. Get rifles back in and push this thing for overtime. Not an easy thing to do, but does that mean we see Party Astronauts kind of kick things up a notch, maybe be a little bit more aggressive? I have no idea.
Pistols. Tech 9s can be scary. Brehze is getting aggressive. This is could be a disastrous play against Pistols. Starts things off right through the stairs. He'll find the one. Spots a second. Combines with Hex, and Hex is a supportive mastermind. 2 secured. Keeps his teammate alive, and that should be the round done and dusted. 60 chop. The last 2 remaining.
Great flash, and Brehze actually trying to be a little bit cheeky on the top end there, but that flash actually does catch him off the positioning. Not by much, but he's low. He's at 26. And there it is. I don't know what the peak was for that, but he goes for it anyways and costs him his life. And now NRG are here. Bomb's still in control for the Party Astronauts. They're running out of options though here, Nate. This is getting a little bit worrying here for any PA fans. Rifle going to be picked up. One flash comes in. 60 does find it. Now he's able to tuck himself away. Oh, but Chop just runs into his own demise. And there we go. NRG now put themselves on map and series point to keep themselves in the upper bracket.
Weathering the storm. Turning a corner on this map in a very real way. It did look like it could go either way for a good while. They turned a major corner. Secured a fair few in a row. And are now one step away from closing out this series. Rifles in. Party Astronauts. Hold on for dear life. Again, it's not the end of the road for them. It's a double elimination bracket. This is the upper bracket final. It has to go play Mythic tomorrow in the first series of the day, which will be at 2:30 Pacific. Next, spot towards B. No kills on either side as of yet. Brehze again up to his aggressive antics on the stairs. Walco knows his push. It's a possibility. This isn't overstepping his bounds. Now he will. Perfect time to activate. Nice off angle. Totally unexpected. Wolfie does drop daps. Brehze gets that trade onto Walco, however. 4 versus 4, and it's going to be an A-site play. Ben Leet dropping OC. A big kill to find. 60 pressing the issue. Finds Hex, and Fang now has to do it all. Low on HP. He's found the first. Stuck in a very unorthodox angle on site with only 5 rounds in the mag. Looking for the op, he finds a big second, and now we're right back into it. Back to even footing. Brehze on a timely flank. Fang spamming, just distracting at this stage. Flank from Brehze, totally unexpected. One, not the second though. Ben Leet holding on for dear life. Both players low. There is utility for Ben Leet, but he's holding this perfect angle. Fang grabs a flash. He has the kit. Both players are tiptoeing around each other. They don't want to give the info to the other. Tap comes in, Fang. Hit it off of it. Knows he's towards side hole. Smoke down. Attack. And no, he doesn't know it's side hole. He thinks he's towards ramp. That's to his chagrin. He's shot in the backside. Ben Leet keeps party astronauts alive, but Fang brought it so close to a series ender.
Oh, man, it almost came right down to it, too. A bit of a misread coming in. Yeah, like you said, he definitely thought, that Ben was on the ramp, so that's why he went for that kind of a smoke, but my oh my, came right down to it. And Brehze came up big in that one too, like we talked about, like him just being in B main like that. The repositioning, the timing was everything. So close to the finish line, but Party Astronauts can rely on the veteran of Ben Leet to keep them alive into this with 2 more needed. And now Fang gets a little bit of revenge here as he's able to find 2 more. Decimates them. Now he's able to retreat back. Party Astronauts down to 3 with plenty of time on the clock now.
Lots of time. Fang putting the team in the backpack. He's had a very solid second half. Getting aggressive now, feeling himself, wanting to put this one to bed. 23 kills to his name. 1 kill per round at this stage. Fang smoking the Molotov for his teammate, but it's a little bit late. OC a little low now. Nade might even finish him off. Knows it too. And Nade will do it. Goodbye, OC.
Sweet dreams. Sweet OC.
Sweet dreams. They still have the advantage. Fang is still standing. Smoke comes in for the execute. Molotov does as well. Fang forced away. Fee does have that op as well. An important note. Plant coming through. Good nade, but not the outright kill. Bomb will hit dirt. Or concrete, I guess. And now the retakes on. Again, 4 versus 3. Looks like a late flank might come through. But Wolfie's op at range is a menace. First secured for him, tying it back up.
Yeah. The utility's not looking great here either, and now Wolfie again just puts that off to work. Might not making a quick scope there too. Oh my goodness, I talked about activation. Yeah, there it is. It's finally done. We're going the full distance here. Round 24. NRG have been on this, on the cusp of being done this for so long, and Party Astronauts will not give up.
No, they won't. Surprising twist of fate. Fang, again, trying his darndest. By haphazard at best, scraping the bottom of the barrel. MP9, Deagle, 5.7s, 2 of them to be exact for Brehze and Daps. And he gets another pistol for the final player on the team. As Hex, he does have a pistol as well. What can you do at this point? Your buy is severely compromised. You have to rely on hero plays, truly. 60 on the edge of the smoke. Fang should expect this. He knows the smoke is bad.
They're both just right there in front of each other, too. Oh, Fang. Making a bit of a noise cue. Fang, he might try to swing this. Oh, he actually, instead, he just kind of creeps in the corner, but does 60 read this? And he does it, and he pops out, and he's not able to get the kill, but does some damage. Now Party Astronauts put themselves in a great position still. 4-on-2. Brehze on the other side of the map. He needs to get going. Hex yelling at him to get back to here. Still lots of time for the bomb to make any sort of a rotate. The utility is just flying from the sky once more. Oh boy, this is not easy. No kit, anything like that available right now for the CTs. This is problematic, and now Hex, a 1-on-4 required. Wolfie's waiting for him. Chop is just going to take him out, and we are going to overtime.
Going to overtime. No other way about it. This is the closest map, and there's no better way to end this best-of-3 series than with overtime. It's been scrappy, it's been streaky, it's been back and forth. Right when you think one team might turn the corner, the other one makes a killer adjustment. Now we're on that 12.5k MR6 overtime. Again, the magic number is 16. You have to win 4 of the 6 next rounds, 3 on each side. That's how the halves go. With money no longer an object, no longer a worry, both teams will bring out all the bells and whistles, including the ops for Wolfie and OC.
Yeah, we haven't seen the op-on-op duel for quite some time either, right? I mean, that's a big thing. I know you were very excited about this, and before we started this best of 3, somehow we are going to an overtime. Again, first to 16, like you talked about. And now Sixy gets a little bit aggressive by himself, actually. He puts matters into his own hands, trying to get the job done, being a hitman. Party Astronauts now can kind of recollect the thoughts. They can kind of recalibrate what they want to do on this. With a minute just striking onto the clock, so much time still here for the bomb to make its way. It does look like they want to go back for this A-pop.
Yes, they do. Sad hole. Challenging OC the op. Yeah, those side shoulder peeks aren't going to work against the op. OC greets him with open arms. E-lurk, though, is in effect for Walco. That could make things interesting. As it stands, 3 defenders on this A site. Sixy trying to spam the smoke, won't find any success. Brehze drops Walco, that's the lurk taken down. Hex drops Chop. Brehze, OC, daps. Sixy drops by daps. It's Wolfie. Has his op back in hand. He found the first. Again, stellar performance in that second map. Also here now this third, but time against him in that round. NRG, a 13th on the board.
Now, the big question is going to be what Party Astronauts want to do with a round like this. I mean, they still got, like, again, like you said, Wolfie was able to keep himself alive. Things got a little bit awkward on the ramp, but Walco now going to try to turn up the pace a little bit. He's going to actually run on towards the back of... I thought he was going to go up the stairs right away, but instead he'll just kind of post on the bottom of it. Lots of utility already being burned right now from NRG. Getting themselves that ramp control early on. Something that I feel like Party Astronauts haven't really... done too many times. Fang already holding the close angle. And already now another good flash coming in, but nothing to capitalize with the swing. They had a bit of a read on this nade. It was weird. I felt like they were trying something different. Fang actually pushes even more than normal. And they want that man advantage, and they got it.
Getting down 6C as well. One of the raid bosses of this team. The issue is that Wolfie is still standing, and Wolfie does not miss. Daps down. Brehze only good for 1. Walco trades. 3v3, and again, Wolfie is still active. Hext is low. Hext is found. Walco another. 3v2 for Party Astronauts now. The bomb, though, still yet to be planted. Chop has made the crossing. Attempt it now. Molotov a little too late to stop it. Dang. Trying to raid boss as best he can, pushing forward. Wolfie is lurking in middle. He wins the opping duel. And now Fang has no choice but to turn around and try to unseat this opper.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to pick up this op too. It looks like he thinks the Wolfie's still close on by. Oh, no, you can't dry peek that. You cannot jiggle this. Okay, apparently you can. All right, Fang does one better. You know something more than we do. Should be able to pick up this off from OC. Keep that gun afloat. And we're right back at it with another tie situation right now. Interesting round from Party Astronauts. Again, they didn't really do anything, you know, too out of the box. They just kind of waited things out on the bottom of B. And then they just went for the pop, and they were able to get themselves in the sight at the right time and kind of caught NRG off guard with their positioning.
Yes, they did. That lurking op from Wolfie is oppressive. Shuts down the round, splits their attention. His teammates were able to trade things out towards the B stairs. Pressure from both teams now towards A. Smokes exchanged. It's a grenade soup towards the ramp. Bentley, though, and a surprising number of players from Party Astronauts still looking to pressure towards B.
Yeah, look at how far Walco is, too. He's on the top of the stairs, just waiting for the smoke to dissipate. Ben might have a flash right away, but Brehze is just right back to the spot before. He's been here many times. Another smoke going to be placed. Walco is going to get this jump spot. Boosted up on each other. If Brehze gets the timing right, he might be able to find this. Wolfie actually does start things off with the opening duel. And there it is. Yeah, they were not expecting him to be there. And Brehze almost finds that double. But a great amount of work coming in from Party Astronauts. But it's a 3-on-2. It's barely an advantage. And now Chop in a particular spot here, Nate.
Yeah, it's a 4 versus 2. Up. Bosi rotating around. Chop just phased the smoke at the perfect time. Wolfie again, the raid boss still active. This Opper tags Brehze. Falls. Brehze finding yet more. Chop. A flank finds one. 20 seconds left and it all to do. Brehze low on HP, still wins the duel. A double dink, the veteran coming in huge in that round. A 4K for himself to give NRG an edge going into this second half of overtime.
Absolutely outstanding. Again, Brehze, you know, we talked a lot about him here today. Wondering what he's going to be able to do, and that's a big round for him. That was pretty much an individual round for him. I mean, again, finding that, you know, one kill on the ramp, or on the stairs, my apologies, and then again, just able to find that clutch situation. But man, these rounds have just come tooth and nail right down to it. And such an impressive showing from Party Astronauts, really, with such a new roster. Not much about the protocols being built in. They've done such a great job, and now Brehze trying to see if he can be more of a heavy shooter. Daps is going to be able to take that kill away from him, but teamwork is going to make the dream work, and there it is. Now another kill coming in. They're going to just run into the site, roasting alive Brehze. It's a barbecue, and Ben's cooking them well done with a double now, leaving it with a 3-on-2 situation. Now bringing it back to an equal footing. Fang waiting things out. So much time on the board. Heads are flying apart. And now, what do we see from the clutch player of Wolfie? Nothing at all.
Fang and Hex, the 2 stars for their team. Actually, Brehze is as well. Versus that raid boss in the op of Wolfie. Unfortunately, that angle top double box, a little bit too esoteric, a little bit too unexpected, and a little bit too disfavored when you have an op in hand. NRG, the gimmick of a fast play towards B, does pan out. It does secure them map and series point, but they've had it before. The question is, can they get it across the line here and now? See, a tactical pause coming in from Party Astronauts makes sense. Pressure is at an all-time high. Question is, will they crumble under it, or will they navigate these shallow waters?
Well, we've been in these positions before, and I mean, Party Astronauts, when things were getting tough, seemed like they could, you know, that added that extra little bit more oomph for them to get themselves back into the game. But it is the series point. One more needed here for NRG to get themselves still remaining in the upper. Like we said, double elimination. So this is not losers out. They do get a second chance at this, but it's hard to take any sort of defeat the way this game has gone. 13-8s from both maps and this thing going into overtime. My God.
Yeah, it's gone the distance. It has been a marathon.
Definitely not a sprint.
No.
What is going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. What? Trying to watch on the X-ray, and I was a little bit flummoxed.
I was doing the
versus
same
Wolfie.
thing. It's like, what the heck am I watching here? Why are there two people like right beside each other and nothing's happening? This X-ray is just mind games.
Yeah, one hit sandbags at his Wolfie. They can isolate him.
Oh,
They can
he's
take him
out.
down. Okay, never mind. He peeks out. He finds one. He's burned alive, though. It's a barbecue, and Brehze is invited. He finds two. Caught by Walco. Seems like NRG might just continue their press. OC still here. He has Daps in the side hall. Things have slowed down considerably. 3 versus 3. PA. No, what's riding on this one? We'll slowly aggress, but OC's ready with the op. He will not miss that. Hex jumping up, spots for info. No one's there. At least no one was peeking. OC doesn't chop. He's ready for it. The last alive is the man you'd normally want in the clutch. 6C. 1v3. He's going to go for it. Run the gambit flash in. Daps while blind. Does him in. It is a marathon. It is a marathon that NRG win. They stumble in the second map, but they win the first. They win the third. Overall score lines to recap. Inferno 13-8 NRG. Anubis 13-8 Party Astronauts. And Vertigo 16-13 in favor of NRG.